latest of the series.
Okay.
How you doing,
Amazing.
Jerry?
I'm great, EFN. How you doing, man?
Can't complain, man.
Man, so last August we got a chance to talk about the Coming Home series, catching a ride on Revolt. You know what I mean? And you talked about your initial experience going into Cuba, your family homeland. So that experience and how it broke out, and et cetera, et cetera. You've got two new episodes that you put together. Colombia and South Africa. Talk to us about the experience with these two locations.
Sure. So like you mentioned, we started out with Cuba. It was a one-off film that, I wasn't even a filmmaker, and I wanted to follow my family roots and at the same time kind of see what was going on in terms of hip hop culture in Cuba. And after that film, with everything that happened with that film, I was inspired to create the series Coming Home. With the catchphrase that wherever we find hip hop, we find home, right? And I set out to do independently at least 6 films, and so that's what I wanted to do, and I was pretty stubborn about doing that. And I got to the point where we did Peru was the second film, we did Haiti, Vietnam, and then we went to Colombia, and then South Africa would be the 6 ones. The two latter, the Colombia and South Africa, we never released publicly. And then South Africa was close to the pandemic, so that really kind of like slowed everything down and stopped everything. But basically the premise is the same. In Colombia, I already knew prior, just being, living in South Florida, having Colombian friends, a lot of Colombians around me, talking about the hip hop scene in Latin America. I always heard that Colombia was a big hub for hip hop, and a lot of artists were doing shows out there. And I heard that there was a lot of hip hop culture in Colombia. And so I always wanted to go there. And a friend of mine, one of my best friends, they know him now as Drink Champ Sports. His name is Paul. He was an MC in our crew as well. Really good friend of mine. He had never been to Colombia. He was born in Passaic, New Jersey. Both his parents are Colombian, but he had never been. So I was like, this is perfect. This is your coming home for that part of it. Right. So we were able to go. We went to Bogota, Medellin, and Barranquilla, which was really dope for us, not ever being to Colombia, because it allowed us to explore like from one side of the country to the other side, and the music changed as you went along, which was really dope. You got to Bogota is more like the grimy New York City style in terms of the feel, the grit of the music. Medellin it's in the valley, so it had a little bit of like this underground feel, and then it had like the city's kind of vibe as well, but they were really into the underground side of things. And then you went to Barranquilla, which was like the Caribbean feel. They had a lot of influence from the Caribbean. So that was really dope about going to Colombia. And then outside of, Latin America and staying in our hemisphere, I always want to go further out. And so, we were able to go to Vietnam, which took us pretty far out. And then, I've always wanted to go to it was 2 places I wanted to go: Mongolia or anywhere in Africa.
Right.
And it happens to be that one of my boys and someone that I managed as well as an artist, recognized from the group Mayday that signed to Tech Nine, Strange Music. He happens to be where his roots are in South Africa. He was born in the UK, raised here in South Florida, and he had roots in South Africa. I was like, I didn't know that. But leading up to deciding to go, he's like, man, yeah, I got roots in Cape Town. So we're like, come on down, come through with us. And we went to South Africa. We went to Johannesburg and to Cape Town. And it was just a huge eye opener in terms of like the scene, the influences, which is everything that I try to get out of these coming homes. What is the influence that we have on them? How are they remixing hip hop, which is what I think is the magic of hip hop, how you interpret it yourself. And just, and just all the landscape that goes with that.
One of the things that you said in our previous conversation about coming home was that as you visited these countries, the feedback you got was that American hip hop was losing its leading edge. Mm-hmm. When you went to these 2 additional places, was that similar feedback from those 2 areas?
Absolutely. It's been consistent in every country we've gone to. Now, mind you, we're just we were there for a short period. We're not there for long, maybe a week or two at the most. So it's a snapshot of what's going on. Right. But from our experience, it's been consistent in every country where they say we love America for bringing us hip hop, for birthing hip hop and exporting it to us. But we feel that you guys no longer really do hip hop. You do business over there. The art is lost. The pureness of hip hop, for whatever, the culture. They just feel we've lost our way. And they say it in different ways, but they're all saying the same thing.
What did you find, what was one of the most magnificent things that hit you from each of these different places? Do you have an example?
I mean, for me, in Colombia, like in Medellin, they really, they're sticking to this underground, what they think is the purest form of hip hop. And so much so that they have infighting within the music culture of reggaeton and Latin trap. Okay. Which to me is all hip hop related. And Latin trap to me would be considered hip hop. It's just different style of production. But to them, it's different because that's how diehard they are to the underground roots of hip hop and what they think is the original form of hip hop. So that was surprising to me that they're actually having like infighting within each other, within the music culture there. The other thing that was surprising too, hearing so much about Colombian hip hop and how big of a scene it was, that they have no infrastructure to monetize it. They have to leave the country to go to other Latin countries to monetize it, which I mean, I kind of saw that in other countries as well, but I was surprised in Colombia that was the case. And so that was some of the stuff that stood out in Colombia. And in South Africa, what was really interesting is one of the pioneers, who they considered one of the pioneers of hip hop in South Africa, he made mention that he felt that hip hop may not have taken root the way it did had it not been for apartheid, because they used hip hop as the music of revolution against apartheid. Some people, we put it in our trailer and some people took it the wrong way, that soundbite, thinking that he was bigging up apartheid for helping with hip hop. But no, what he was saying is that had there been no apartheid, maybe hip hop wouldn't have been the music they chose to be the music of the revolution. Okay.
Kind of like, our street scene over here, some changes were made based on hip hop, right, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. But when you have a rapping granny on a major network commercial,
right?
You made a difference.
No, hip hop. America is hip hop right now, for good and for bad. You know what I'm saying? Right, but we are hip hop as a country now.
Right. As a country, yeah, it's crazy, man. So, are these live now? Are we doing YouTube? How's it been presented? I apologize, I don't have my notes in front.
No problem. So I partnered with LL Cool J and Rock the Bells.
Rock the Bells. Okay.
Like I said, the pandemic, it kind of slowed things down, and so I don't know what made me reach out, but I reached out. Shout out to Claudine, who works with LL, and I got it in front of LL, and he got it. Prior to that, having all these different meetings with people just wanted to change the idea of what I had with it, add elements that I didn't want to add to it, and just kind of, in my opinion, pervert what I was trying to do. And he saw it. He was like, "Nah, I get it, and however I could support it, I'm a partner with you in this." And so I partnered with Rock the Bells. They want to help in terms of like the newer episodes that we produce. Like I said, I set out to do these 6 independently. And then I came back to Revolt to say, hey, you guys were the first ones to lock in with me and license the very first one and the first 4. Let's look at Colombia and South Africa and re-releasing all of them. And so the first 4 are available right now on the Revolt TV app for streaming. Colombia aired last Monday on the network, and then it's on the app now. Okay. And then South Africa will have its world premiere June 13th, Monday, June 13th, and then be available for streaming on the app.
My man, I love what you're doing for hip hop. I got to thank you. I thanked you last time, but you just continue to champion the culture and, go and get the tidbits and the golden nuggets from different parts of the world so that we can all see, exactly the dynamic entity, being, living, breathing being that hip hop culture is and what it means to the world. Something that people said wouldn't last long and we would be out of here. Now the most powerful music force on the planet. So I love it. Thank you for what you do. Is there anything you wanted to cover that I may have missed? I know our time is short.
No, I think we covered pretty much everything, man. It just I think we covered everything.
Okay. Well, I've always said you got a friend at the Hype magazine, my brother. Anytime, anything you want to talk about, you're welcome to come back. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate everybody who put this segment together. Thank you, DJ EFN. If you're not familiar with him, which you'd be crazy not to be, you can also check him out on Drink Champs. But this big push is definitely the Coming Home series, which is going to expand probably well far beyond his dreams. And I'm happy for it. So thank you. Hype Magazine Live Sessions, DJ EFN.
Thank you for your time, man.
Man, thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.